Good morning, students. Chapter 7 Java Basics. This is the chapter from where now we will start learning Java. This entire chapter is again based on how we can write programs in Java and its basics. Again, remember the actual programming comes in the next chapter, that is chapter 8. Here we will be learning all the different aspects of Java language. So the history of Java says that it was developed by Sun Microsystem in the year 1991, and it was considered and it is considered as one of the most ideal language, object-oriented language to be distributed executable programs via World Wide Web. Now, why it is the most desirable and most ideal language? Because it is platform independent. So when we consider World Wide Web, there comes many different types of operating system and many different types of computer. But Java is capable to run on all these different machines and operating systems. JDK, that is called Java Development Kit, it has many classes, pre-written classes. So JDK has got so many pre-written classes which we can directly use in our program. And there are classes like for networking, for common internet protocols, and even for the user interface toolkit. So JDK, when we install Java Development Kit in our computer, we are actually installing many ready-made classes in our computer, which we can directly use in our program. The fourth point is very important to understand. It says that Java is platform independent at both the source and at the binary level. Now, most of the programming at the source level, all the programmings are platform independent because the source of the program is written in Notepad or any text editor. So it is platform independent. But the binary level, it is platform independent, that is Java only. Like if you studied C in 10th standard, and C is not platform independent. If you compile a program, C program in your machine, that compiled program cannot run in another computer, even if it is the same computer, because the compiled program of C, that is the binary conversion of the C program, is not platform independent. Whereas Java, when we compile Java program, when it creates binary code or byte code, it is platform independent, so it can be run on any machine. The designers of Java choose to use a combination of compilation and interpretation. There is basic difference between what is compilation and what is interpretation. If you want to go in little detail, then let me quickly explain. Compilation is a process where the entire program is read by compiler and it gives you list of errors. And it creates once it is successfully compiled, it creates a binary code. Whereas interpreter interprets each line of program one by one. And as and when there is one error, it will stop. Again, we correct that error. Again, it will start from the first line. So interpretation is slow compared to compilation process. And another thing is interpreter is not creating any object code. It is not creating any byte code. So there is the basic difference between compilation and interpretation. Here it shows pictorially how Java program is compiled and what makes it platform independent. So the Java source code that is written in any text editor, then we compile that code which creates Java bytecode. Now this bytecode is not generated for any specific computer or any specific machine. Even if I compile any Java program or Java source code in my computer, it is not actually getting compiled for my machine. Rather, it is getting compiled for a machine called JVM, that is Java Virtual Machine, which is not existing anywhere. This code, that is this byte code, then is distributed on different machines where there may be Linux operating system, there may be Mac operating system, there may be Windows. Each of these operating system will have its own interpreter, which can easily understand this byte code, and then it converts it into native code. Native code means the code which that particular machine understands. So this is how Java program becomes platform independent at both source as well as at binary level. So the Java bytecode is machine independent because of this reason. To execute this bytecode, different machine requires different Java bytecode interpreter. As I said, for Linux, there is a different interpreter. For Mac, there is another interpreter. For Windows also, there is another interpreter. But they all results same. So it's something like if somebody is giving lecture in Gujarati and from audience, one person understands only Japanese language, one person understands only English language, and one person understands only French language. So interpreter will interpret that lecture into respective language. So the output will be always same, will be having the same meaning. But the way it is done is differently. The only disadvantage of interpreter, which we discussed in previous slide also, that it is slow in execution. Why it is slow? Because it interprets line by line, whereas compiler compiles the entire program together. Now a Java program is composed of classes. I think this we discussed in chapter 6 also. A Java program is composed of many classes, and there has to be one class where there is main method in it. You may write Java program with only one class, or you may write Java program with hundreds of classes. But there has to be one and only one class where in that class there is a method with the name main. That is the main method from where program starts execution. The extension of Java source file which we create in Notepad or any other text editor should be .java Java. And to compile this Java program, the command is javac, which is followed by the file name of the Java programs or the source code. The successful compilation, if there is no error, then successful compilation will generate a file with .class extension that is called bytecode or binary file. As you can see here, the third box, that is Java bytecode, which will have the extension .class. In JDK, that is in Java Development Kit, when we type Java followed by the file name, it will execute the file, that is this class file, and will get the output. So to execute program, we only need .class file, we don't need its source file. Only the class file, that is the compiled file, we need to execute the Java program. So as you can see, here is the simple Java program. Wherever you see slash double star and star slash, and wherever you see double slash, all those are comments. Whether you write it or not, it is not going to make any difference. There is one class with the name callCost, as you can see in the fifth line on page 1. Public class callCost. Public is its visibility, means it is available everywhere. Public means it is available everywhere. Class means we are defining a class, and callCost is the name of the class. Curly bracket open, that is the definition, starts, and in that class there is one method called main method. As you can see, public static void main string args. This is the standard statement we need to write for main method. Public main makes the main method public. Static, we will understand in chapter 8 what static means. Void means this method is not returning any value, and main is the name of the method. Again, another opening curly bracket. Now we are defining the class, that is method, that is a main method we are defining in detail. Now we are creating 4 variables: double balance, double rate, double duration, and double cost. Now what is double? That also will come in next slide. Right now you understand that it is a data type which allows balance, rate, duration, and cost to hold values with decimal point. Then computation is a comment line. Go to the second page, that is page 2 on right hand side. Now we are assigning values to the balance is equal to 170, rate is equal to 1.02, duration is equal to 37, and now we calculate cost, that is duration into rate, and balance is equal to balance minus cost. Now we are printing it. System.out.print call duration. It is written within double inverted comma. That means it will print as it is call duration. Second line is system.out.print duration without inverted comma. So here it will print the value of duration variable, which is 37. Third line is system.out.println seconds will again print seconds as it is because it is written within double inverted comma. And fourth line is very interesting to understand. System.out.println balance, which is written within double inverted comma, so will be printed as it is. Then balance, which is written outside inverted comma, which will be print its value, the value of the balance, that is balance minus cost, that is 170 minus whatever the cost. And then again rupees within inverted comma, so it will be printed as it is. So the things which are without inverted comma, Java program will try to print the value of that variable, and things written within inverted comma, Java will print it as it is. Now the plus sign is called concatenate operator. It is used to join two different things. Balance, the first balance with colon is a string and the second balance is a variable. So two different things I want to join together. So plus sign. Similarly, the second balance and the word rupees are two different things. So to join those two different things, again I am using plus sign. Then both the curly brackets are closed. The one for the main method and another for the class call cost. The rest of the things, that is double slash end of main, double slash end of class call cost, they are comment line. So let us again understand here. The text written after double slash and between slash char and star slash are called comments. Variables are declared using data type followed by variable name, as you saw, double rate, double duration, as you can see. Similarly, integer a, float b, and all these things. We will understand what is integer and what is float and what is character, that is char and everything. Method system.out.println. Now, if you observe here in this program, the first two line has got system.out.print and second two line has got system.out.println. The basic difference between them is println will add a line break. So system.out.println adds a line break after the end of the information. So whatever information is written within the bracket, that will be printed and then there will be a line break. It is as good as adding enter key. So if you write print, there won't be any enter key pressed after printing, and if you write println, whatever is you are supposed to print will be printed and there will be a line break. Now textbook discusses about a text editor that is called cited text editor, scientific text editor, which is a software available in Linux. We are using Windows, so we can use Notepad. But for cited text editor, there are 4 commands given which are important for exam point of view. File new is used to create a new file. File save is used to save the file. Tools compile is used to compile program. If you don't want to compile using the command, then there is a menu, tools menu, from where you can compile the program, and tools go is used to execute the program. So just remember these 4 commands: file new, file save, tools compile, and tools go. Now here comes the data types. As we discussed in the previous program, that you saw that double and float and integer and character. So what is that? So data type determines the required memory size, type of values, range of values, and type of operations that can be performed on a variable. What kind of information we can store in that variable, how big information we can store in that variable, and what kind of operations can be performed on that variable is decided by its data type. Java supports 8 primitive data types, and they are byte, short, integer, long, float, double, character, and boolean. Integer is written as int, but we pronounce it as integer. Similarly, character is written as char, but we pronounce it as character. Rest are same. Now what is the difference between all these 8 primitive data types? So as you can see, first 4, that is byte, short, integer, and long, can hold any number but number without decimal point. Byte, short, integer and long can hold only numbers and any number, but the number should be without decimal point. This range is different. Byte has got different range, short has got different bigger range, integer has got even bigger range, and long has got even bigger range. So the range of values which can be stored in these four are different, but can hold only integer value, no number with decimal point. So if you want to store 1.25, none of this can be useful. Similarly, float and double can hold real numbers also, means any number. Now, float and double can hold any number with or without decimal point. Again, the range is different. Float can hold the certain series of range of numbers, and double can hold again certain range of numbers. But the highest or the biggest number can be stored in double. Character can hold any single character from Unicode character set, and it is written within single inverted comma. So when we define character, means you store only one character. As the data type says character, so you can't give more than one character. It can hold only single character, and that has to be written within single inverted comma. Boolean can hold any of the two logical values, that is either true or false, nothing other than true or false. Java variables, how variables are defined. So name used to refer to data stored in memory is called variable. We Java program will store so many information in the memory. Now to refer to those memory location, either we should know the name of that memory location, which is very difficult to remember. So what we do is we create variables which we can easily remember. So we create variable, and that variable refers to the data stored in the memory. So a variable can take different data values at different time during the program execution. For example, a is equal to 5. So a is a variable which holds value 5. Then afterward I may say a is equal to 39. So now a will hold 39. So it can keep on changing. A variable name must begin with an alphabet. Now while naming a variable, there are certain rules. So the first character of the variable name should be either alphabet, underscore or dollar sign. You can't start any variable name with a number. The first character of the variable name must be either alphabet, underscore or dollar sign. It cannot have blank space, so it's a single word. A variable name is a single word, and it cannot be a reserved word of that particular language. So you see, these are the reserved words: byte, short, integer, long, float, double, character, boolean. All these are reserved words. So I cannot create a variable with the name int. I cannot create a variable name as double, because they are the reserved word of Java language. Variable names are case sensitive. So variable small a and variable capital A are two different things, because Java language itself is case sensitive. And if your variable is made up of more than one word, I'd say long variable name, then what you can use is you can capitalize the first character of every word except the first word. For example, birth date of candidate. So as you can see, the first word is birth, which is in small letter. Then date of candidate, in that D, O and C is capital. Similarly, total room door. So total is the first word, so it is in small letter. Room is another word, so capital R, and door is another word, so capital D, but no blank space is allowed. You can even use another method where you can separate the words by underscore. Birth underscore date underscore of underscore candidate. Similarly, total underscore room underscore door. You can follow any one of this method. Literals, Java literals. Literals means constant. The constant which does not change throughout the program. It remains as it is. That is called literal. And Java has got 4 different types of literal. As you can see, the next 4 points, the first word: numeric literal, boolean literal, character literals and string literal. Numeric literal is used to represent either integer constant or real constant, that is number without decimal point and number with decimal point. Boolean literal, so as we know, can represent either true or false, nothing other than that. Character literal is used to express single character surrounded by single inverted comma, and there are certain backslash character. Now there are certain characters which is non-printable character, like enter key, space bar. These are non-printable character. Backspace, tab key, all these are non-printable characters. We don't see that those characters on screen. We see only the effect of such characters. So if you want to use such characters, there are certain backslash sequence. For example, backslash n is for new line, that is like enter key. Backslash t is for tab. So even though within inverted comma we have two characters, it actually represents in single character. Similarly, there are many characters which are not available on the keyboard. Then how to represent such character? For example, as example given here is, if I want in my program a trademark symbol, TM symbol, that's a single character actually. TM is together and that's a single character, but it is not available on keyboard. Then how to do that? So for that there are Unicode sequence, which is a hexadecimal code. So Unicode sequence begins with backslash u followed by 4 hexadecimal digits. So backslash u 2122 is used to represent trademark symbol. This example you remember, you don't need to remember all the Unicode sequences for different characters. Textbook has given only 2-3 in the entire textbook, so you remember those only. If board is asking, they will ask only from the textbook. So even though within single inverted comma we have written 6 characters, that is backslash u 2 1 2 and 2, but it actually represents a single character. And string literals are written within double inverted comma. So whenever you write something within double inverted comma, it is called string literal. Now something in detail about numeric literals, numeric constant. And now again in numerical constant or numerical literal, there are two types of literal, integer literal and real number literals. Integer literal is used to represent whole numbers. So a numeric literal with a leading zero. Now there are again, while representing whole numbers, we have 4 different number system: binary, octal, decimal and hexadecimal. So how to differentiate them? So if a number is having a leading zero, if you write 085, sorry, 085 cannot be a correct example. Suppose you write 035, then it is an octal number. Why 85 is wrong? Because 8 cannot be there in the octal number system. Octal number system has only 0 to 7. So if any number in your program you assign to a variable which starts with 0, that is called octal number. If any number starting with 0x, capital or small, it is considered as hexadecimal number. And if any number is beginning with 0b, small or capital B, it is understood as binary number. And if number starts normally without 0, it is decimal number system. So there are 4 number systems which we can use in our programming. But for a normal program, we don't need all these number system. It is only when we are developing any graphics application where there are a lot of calculation and big numbers are coming, we might use this different number system. Second, real number literal. Real number literals can be represented using 2 different methods. One is a standard method and another is scientific method. Standard method, that is, if I write 12.35897, something like this, that is a standard method. And scientific method is where I write 12.3574 and something and then e plus or minus some number that indicates exponent. So the second one is actually 12.3547 into 10 raised to minus 24. That is what the scientific representation of any real number. So real number has got two types of representation, standard and scientific. Comments in Java, we already saw there are three types of comments in Java, and comments are totally ignored by compiler. So whether you write comment in your program or you don't write at all, your program answer and performance will not change. It is only for the one who is reading your program code. For them it is helpful. Again remember, those who are reading your program code, coding je vache છે, for them it is useful. Otherwise comments are not making any kind of difference in the output or the performance of the program. Single line comment begins with double slash and there is nothing to end it. Where the line ends, comments end. Multi-line comments begins with slash star and it may spread over as many lines you want to write, and then last it ends with star slash. Documentation comment begin with slash double star and it ends with star slash. Remember, it ends with star slash only when it is you are beginning that comment, it begins with slash double star. Now documentation comment are used to create API documentation from the code. Like if you want to create a documentation of your program which you want to distribute to your client, when you are distributing your program to your client, and if you want to create a documentation of your program also, then you can include those comments which you want to include in your API documentation. You should write between slash double star and star slash. Another important thing is comments cannot be nested. So you cannot write a comment within another comment.